Trooper has been AWOL. You know, we're going to show him this November. He's going back home. And another position on that council state that we've been fortunate enough to actually have a Republican, the first Republican to serve on the council state, and the longest serving Republican to serve on the council state, our Commissioner of Labor, Cherie Berry. She doesn't quite need an introduction because everybody's seen her face before. If you go on an elevator, you see her. She makes sure that our elevators are safe and taken care of. She makes sure that the rides at the State Fair, which is going on right now actually in Raleigh, so go visit the State Fair. She makes sure those rides are taken care of, and she needs your help this November. She needs to be back in Raleigh to serve as our Commissioner of Labor. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Elevator Queen, Commissioner of Labor, Cherie Berry.
Hey. Well, hey. What a beautiful day in North Carolina, and it's extra special beautiful here in Greensboro because Donald J. Trump's a-coming. I'm so honored to be here today to support Mr. Trump and to speak to all of you about my support for him. I'm also honored to be here today just because North Carolina is such a special place. And I want to say thank you to all of you who have, over the years, going on 16 now, have allowed me to serve as your Commissioner of Labor. It is indeed an honor and a privilege, and I'm eternally grateful to all of you for taking your precious vote and casting it for me. And please cast that vote for Mr. Trump on November 8th. You know, I was going to try to say something funny to start this talk, but I'm sick of political jokes. Too many of them got elected. Obama, for instance. And we can't allow crooked Hillary to continue that pattern. Corrupt. You know, I have one mission as Commissioner of Labor, and that is to make sure that each and every person who works in North Carolina, whether they work in the private sector or the public sector, is safe and healthy every single day so that they can go home at the end of their work day safe and healthy to their families, loved ones, and friends. Safety is my top priority. It always has been. It always will be. My opponent likes to say I should be doing other things. He's all for working on economic development. That's what he talks about all the time. That's not my mission. That's not the priority of the Department of Labor. I think my opponent ought to be trying out for Commerce Secretary, if you want my opinion. I got to tell you, folks, he's also an attorney. Now, no, we got some good ones, don't get me wrong. We need them sometime. But we don't need one sitting behind the desk as Commissioner of Labor. All he has criticized me for so far is the fact that I don't sue enough people. I sue when I need to, but I have great attorneys that work for me. We have enough attorneys in the Department of Labor. We don't need another one sitting in the top chair. So I would appreciate it if you would get out and vote all the way down that Council of State ballot. Vote all the way down. You can't vote straight party any longer, so you're going to have to work to cast your vote. So go all the way down the front, all the way down the back. Make sure you vote Republican everywhere, every time, in every election. Now I want to talk for a moment about Mr. Trump. I have been a fan of Mr. Trump for a long, long time. In fact, I wanted him to run for president in 2012. But that wasn't his time. This is his time. His time is now, right now. We need Mr. Trump more than ever, right now. He is the only candidate with the experience and the courage to do what needs to be done to save this country and to make it great again. He's the only one. The only one. Think about the courage he has when he decided to run for president. Think about all the things he's faced. Think about the attacks on him, his family, everyone around him. Think about the courage that takes just to step up and say, I'm going to run for office, especially if you're running for president. That takes tremendous courage. He has that courage because he cares so deeply about this country and every single person in it. It's like us at the Labor Department. If you fall off a building during your work day, I'm not going to ask to see your green card or your voter registration card or any kind of card that says who you might be. I'm just going to go to work to make sure that you're okay. That you're okay. I don't care who you are. You're in America. You're working hard. You're helping to make America function the way it should. So if you're here in North Carolina and you're working, I care about you. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, your sexuality. None of that matters. I care who you are. That's how Mr. Trump is. He cares about people. He cares about everybody. I love you all. You're great North Carolinians, and better than that, you're great Americans. Well, I will simply end this by saying, I know you're passionate about Mr. Trump, as we all are. I know you realize the importance of having him elected, because to me, the most important thing that we should be voting for is that Supreme Court. When you think about the lower courts, they're already stacked by the Obama administration, over 300 of them, and they're lifelong appointments. So we have to have the Supreme Court to offset what the lower court does. So please, please keep that in mind. Put everything else aside. It's not important. What's important is that Supreme Court. I have been on the Trump train before it pulled out of the station. And I will stay on the Trump train until it arrives at its destination. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue as the next president of the United States. God bless you. Thank you.
I don't see any way that I could follow that. It's my honor to introduce our very next guest. He is indeed somebody that I admire, somebody I have a lot of respect for, and the 6th District of North Carolina made a very wise choice by sending Mark Walker to Washington, D.C. You know, Mark Walker, he ain't a politician. Before he was called into this, he was called into ministry. And he served as a pastor at Lawndale Baptist Church here in Greensboro. But he saw the direction our country was headed, and he decided to do something about it by filing for office and running for Congress. Nobody ever would have thought that a pastor with no political connections, no political capital, could simply make it. But he proved the pundits wrong, and now he serves the 6th District honorably in Washington, D.C. You know, there's another person that's not a career politician, and he's on the top of the ballot. His name is Donald Trump. Folks, Washington, D.C. is broken. We all know that. Washington is broken, and Hillary Clinton is just part of the problem. Donald Trump and Mark Walker are part of the solution. Mark Walker, when he got there, like I said, no political capital at all, but he got up there, and he was the first new member of the United States House to pass, the first new member of Congress to pass a piece of legislation and have it signed into law. That shows you something. That shows you something about the man. That shows you something about his strength. And it is my honor to now introduce your United States Congressman, Mark Walker.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here today. As a former pastor for nearly 20 years, I used to speak a great deal about redemption. And recently I found out that I'm in a special class of irredeemable people myself. It's almost like she thinks she's above the law or something. Well, when 2/3 of this country, even a new poll this week, 67% of the American population, both Democrats and Republicans, still find her untrustworthy, I think that's a huge problem for Secretary Clinton. And why do they find her dishonest and untrustworthy? Because she is. I serve on the House Oversight Committee and the Homeland Security. I've seen the evidence. And if Hillary Clinton somehow wins the presidency, she will be the most corrupt individual to ever sit at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Why is it, do you think, that the majority of our law enforcement, the majority of our military supports Donald Trump? We are under attack from religious liberties to Christians to those people of faith, unlike any time before in my lifetime and in my generation. But let me also pause just a little bit, and this isn't probably a big applause line, but I will tell you this. I understand the rage and the anger and the frustration, but do not direct that against your fellow man. We are called to make sure that we're reaching out, to show compassion for those who've been discriminated against, for those who've been oppressed. So in this fervor that we have among this presidential election, make sure that we're channeling that in the right direction, not against each other. People want to talk about a good bit about comments and being offended. Recently, the New York Times asked me to say, are you offended by some of the comments by Mr. Trump? And honestly, I said, yes, I am, but let me tell you what offends me more. Somebody who's okay with third trimester abortions. That offends me. Taking life in the womb offends me. Let me tell you what also offends me. Someone who doesn't even believe that you should have a weapon in your own home, a gun in your own home for personal defense. That offends me. I'll tell you something else that offends me, and that is someone who would appoint Supreme Court justices that cares nothing about our religious freedom, our historic religious freedom. That offends me. I have seen it literally play out on the very floor of the United States Chamber, where our faith-based groups are under attack, where we're called names, bigot, and many things worse than that because we dare stand up for those trying to do the right thing. If you want to know who's getting the work done, and many times it's not government, it's faith-based groups. Those are the ones rescuing boys and girls out of human trafficking. They're the ones holding the hands of AIDS patients in our cities, and they're the ones doing the real work, not the United States government. And I can promise you this, I will not be silent when those groups are attacked. If you remember this, it wasn't too long ago when the tornadoes went through Moore, Oklahoma just a few years ago, and NBC and CBS did a joint news simulcast, and they said this, I believe it was Brian Williams. He said, if you're waiting on the government, you're going to be waiting a while, but the Baptist men are already here. That's the people that need to be protected. People want to talk about judgments and decision making. Well, I can think of two pretty good judgments already. I've seen a list that Mr. Trump has produced with 20 names of the Supreme Court nominees. I don't know if you've taken a list, but that's pretty good judgment in my opinion. And let me tell you about someone else who proves the kind of judgment that we need from Mr. Trump, a gentleman that I've gotten to know, Governor and Vice Presidential candidate Mike Pence. That's pretty good judgment right there. And personally, I appreciated the butt whipping he put on Mr. Tim Kaine not too long ago. In just a few minutes, you're getting ready to hear from Mr. Donald Trump. He needs your help. You see all kinds of different polling, says this or says that, but I remember not too many years ago, a gentleman by the name of Ronald Reagan running for governor of California. He was such an underdog that his Democrat primary opponent ran commercials attacking Ronald Reagan's primary opponent because he wanted to go head-to-head with Ronald Reagan. Well, after Reagan won 63 of 68 counties, I believe that gentleman recognized he made a big mistake. So don't always pay attention to the press. Listen, in fact, I'll say this. Never trust an entertainer or the press when picking your presidential candidate. Mr. Trump needs your help. And if you're willing to get out there and work and share and talk to your friends and neighbors, he can become the next president of the United States. God bless you. Thank you for your service to our country.
heavy price. Left home young and innocent, came back to protest signs. But he still wakes up screaming in the middle of the night. Falls down upon his hands and knees, praying, God, won't you help me find peace of mind? That what I did was right. And back in '67, I was told to go and fight. Give it all I had. Now all I wanna find is a country proud of a job I've done and a little peace of mind. Well, she didn't win no medal, Red Cross upon her sleeve. It was her life's mission, helping those in need. She can still see their faces, finds it hard to sleep sometimes, as she lifts her hands to heaven, praying, God, won't you help me find peace of mind? That what I did was right. After 9/11, I was asked to go and fight. I gave it all I had. Now all I wanna find is a country proud of a job I've done and a there she is alone again in the corner, sipping on a glass of house red wine. As the band begins to play, she's grooving, letting music fill her soul. Nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows what she's running from. You can ask her to dance if you wanna, but you smile and just say no. Nobody knows why she dances alone. There's a million things that it could be, from broken hearts to broken dreams, or getting tired of being left out one more time. To tell you the truth, your guess is as good as mine. Nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows. Is there something at home? Nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows what she's running from. You can ask her to dance if you want, but you smile and just say no. Nobody knows why she dances alone. Nobody knows why she dances alone. Said nobody knows paid a heavy price. Left home young and innocent, came back to protest signs. But he still wakes up screaming in the middle of the night. Falls down upon his hands and knees, praying, God, won't you help me find peace of mind? That what I did was right. Back in '67, I was told to go and fight. Give it all I had. Now all I wanna find is a country proud of a job I've done and a little peace of mind. Well, she didn't win no medal, red cross upon her sleeve. It was her life's mission, helping those in need. She can still see their faces, finds it hard to sleep sometimes, as she lifts her hands to heaven, praying, God, won't you let me find peace of mind? That what I did was right. After 9/11, I was asked to go and fight. I gave it all I had. Now all I wanna find is a country proud of a job I've done and a
Joe Seals here with you in the RSBN studios in Auburn. Thanks so much for tuning in. We have a big day planned for you today. We are going to be covering Mike Pence's speech in Pensacola, Florida, right after this speech. That will get underway at 2 o'clock Central Time. We're going to be also in Charlotte. We are in Charlotte right now. Our cameraman is setting up right now. We have internet that we'll be able to bring you that broadcast tonight. Live from the Charlotte Convention Center. This marks the third Trump event in a row where our cameras will be there showing you the crowd. Saturday, tomorrow in Bangor, Maine, we'll be there at the Cross Insurance Center. It's going to be a big rally tomorrow. We've got our new guy Martin up there on that one, and he's even going to try to do a pregame show for us tomorrow. We'll also be covering the Portsmouth, New Hampshire rally tomorrow with Trump at the Toyota dealership there. Green Bay, Wisconsin on Monday. We'll be there at the Convention Center. Tuesday in Colorado Springs at the Norris Penrose Event Center. And next Tuesday at Grand Junction just before the big debate on Wednesday. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate everybody pitching in, donating to allow us to travel. We're not funded by anybody but you. It makes a big difference, believe me, because we're the only ones that show the crowd. As you can see right now, our camera is twisting like a pretzel. Adam has really upped his game when it comes to the camera, and he's doing a pretty good job thus far of showing the crowd. We will show you the crowd at every event that we're at, and when we can't get our cameras working, we're going to take videos on the phone. We're doing our best to be at every single event. We're going to follow Trump for the next 25 days and make sure that we are there to document this movement, and you are the reason. So please donate to us if you can at rsbn.tv/donate. Your donation will go into a fund that helps us travel. Our PayPal account, our guys have access to debit cards that go directly towards that account so that when they're on the road that they can afford to do this, because we only make money from the ads on these videos. We're not funded by anyone else. We're trying to do this all alone, and without your support we couldn't make that happen. So this is your network. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. Also, please check out Wayne Dupree's show tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, and we are going to also be live from Las Vegas next week for the debate. We'll be live outside the debate. I'm sending a guy out there to do a pregame show, and we'll also be able to carry the live feed of the debate on our website. We will not be able to broadcast it. It will not be our feed. We don't have a license to that, but you'll be able to watch the debate among friends at RSBN. I think things are looking up. I think with all the new accusations coming out, the WikiLeaks stuff coming out, it's going to be an interesting week next week. It's going to get dirty. I think we're going to come out looking pretty good. Enjoy it. Trump should be here shortly. Just want to remind everybody that we are today teaming up with the Trump campaign, and we will be able to watch this rally live, not only on our YouTube channel, but also on Donald's Facebook page at facebook.com/Donald Trump. We'll probably get a lot more views over there than we will here, but we're going to try to make that available for you guys every single event. You should be able to watch that. So you got two sources to be able to watch the rallies on, and we'll show the crowds, and you guys will be very happy. Thank you.
There she is alone again in the corner, sipping on.
Hey y'all, this is Dave Kilner from the band Coldwater Canyon, and you're watching RSBN, the Right Side Broadcasting Network, your #1 streaming source for all things Trump. You can find Coldwater Canyon's music on cdbaby.com and keep tuning into RSBN. We'll be right here on the Trump train with you.
We're gonna make America great again. We're gonna make America free again. People have the power to vote that way. All you people screaming USA. We're gonna fill this country with work again. We're gonna bring those jobs back for good.
Good afternoon, North Carolina. Boy, I am really thrilled to be here. And I am really proud of North Carolina. I looked at how all you great people of North Carolina handled Matthew. You are first class. You know, I look at what's going on in the world today, and I look at America as being a big house. And you know what's happened to that big house? We've been eaten up by termites. Failed foreign policy. Our military is being degraded, not supported. Our borders are wide open. Our schools are failing. We're not supporting our law officers. Crime is rising. So what else? You look at all that. America needs help. America needs leadership. We need Trump. This election is not about electing the Pope. And as a matter of fact, if that was the election, we certainly wouldn't elect Hillary Clinton. This election is about electing someone who can lead this country. This election is about our kids and grandkids. And my man to make sure we take care of those kids and grandkids, and who will be the next commander-in-chief, is Donald Trump. So we're not listening to CNN, the Clinton News Network, or the fish wrappers like New York Times and the Washington Post. We're listening to ourselves. So let's elect our next commander-in-chief. It's Donald Trump. Hurrah!
Gentlemen, please welcome the next President of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Nice place. Plenty of room. In 25 days, we're going to win the state of North Carolina, which I love, and we're going to win the White House. Early voting starts on October 20th, so you have to get out there, but November 8th, that's our day. November 8th, right? November 8th. But do the early voting. I'd also like to take this moment to send our thoughts and prayers to everyone recovering in the tragic aftermath of Hurricane Matthew. You know about it very well, unfortunately, right here. We send our deepest condolences to those who have lost loved ones. We are with you, and we will always be with you and help you when needed. So good luck to everybody. The incredible spirit of the people of this state will power its recovery, and it's the same spirit that will rebuild our nation. I have property in this state. This is a great state. You know my property. Beautiful property, great employees. In a Trump administration, we will end decades of policies that enrich special interests and foreign countries at our expense. We're going to take on the big media, big business, and big donors that are bleeding our country dry. We're losing our jobs. We're going to renegotiate our disastrous trade deals, end illegal immigration, stop the massive inflow of refugees, take care of our vets, our great vets, and we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. 100%. That is a disaster. Premiums are soaring double digits in North Carolina beyond anybody's wildest expectations. It's a disaster, and you know what's going on. Your country will be left with only one insurer. You're going to have nothing. Everyone's leaving. And you're going to have one insurer. You're going to have nobody. Obamacare is failing. We're going to repeal it, and we're going to replace it. Your jobs come back under a Trump administration. Your income goes up under a Trump administration. Your taxes go way down under a Trump administration. Your companies won't be leaving our country under a Trump administration. They'll be staying right here. And believe me, there are plenty of them right now negotiating to leave. I hate to tell you that. These are the issues that we will discuss at the next debate, which I look very much forward to. Crooked Hillary is doing no more public events until after the debate. They say she's doing debate prep, but really she's just resting. She's resting. Tell you what, for what she's done, they should lock her up. She's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. Honestly, it's disgraceful. What's going on in our country right now is a disgrace. The Hillary Clinton documents released by WikiLeaks make more clear than ever just how much is at stake on November the 8th. WikiLeaks released new Clinton campaign emails revealing how friendly Hillary was with the Attorney General Loretta Lynch. This was only months prior to Lynch's investigation of Hillary's illegal secret email server that gave foreign governments access to our confidential information. This comes on the heels of disclosure that Clinton campaign was conspiring and colluding with the State Department and Justice Department over the release of her emails and the investigation into her server. Hillary Clinton told the FBI 39 times she couldn't remember. She couldn't remember anything. I couldn't remember. Or recall key events concerning her illegal email server and related misconduct. Now, in new written testimony just out as part of Freedom of Information Act request, Hillary Clinton has just said she couldn't remember, recall, or anything else key events and key things 21 different times. It's one more reason that if I win, I will ask my Attorney General to appoint a special prosecutor, and we also have to investigate the investigation itself. Hillary bleached and deleted 33,000 emails after a congressional subpoena. She got a subpoena from Congress, and she said, this is no good. This is terrible, because those 33,000 emails had bad stuff. And she said, get rid of them, delete them, bleach them. Nobody bleaches because it's such an expensive process. She bleached. Get rid of them. And then she made everybody get rid of iPhones, her iPhones. And some were hammered. They were hammered to death. All to cover up her crimes. Yesterday, new disclosures were made showing again how Hillary Clinton's pay for play works. Saudi Arabia paid Bill Clinton a lot of money to make a speech and then got an arms deal from Hillary and her State Department that they were unable to get. The nation of Qatar also kicked in $1 million for Bill Clinton's birthday party. So nice. Then as WikiLeaks showed, the Clintons ripped off the people of Haiti as they were suffering and dying after the earthquake. And her brother's on the board of a gold mine. Her brother. But the media is covering up for the Clintons. And there are many crimes against so many people. The WikiLeaks documents show how the media conspires and collaborates with the Clinton campaign, including giving the questions and answers to Hillary Clinton before the debate, okay? What a rigged system, folks. Last night, we had a massive crowd of over 20,000 people in Cincinnati, filled up an arena. And the media won't even talk about the size of the crowd, the enthusiasm of the crowd. I watched NBC this morning. They said, last night Donald Trump was in Cincinnati. If Hillary Clinton has 800 people, oh, the crowd is so big. It is horrible. It is really horrible. The corrupt media is trying to do everything in their power to stop our movement, believe me. They don't want this happening. We have one of the great movements. We have the great movement. We have a movement that's never happened before. And no paper is more corrupt than the failing New York Times. The good news, it is failing. It won't be around too much longer, but they are really, really bad people. The largest shareholder in the Times is Carlos Slim. Now, Carlos Slim, as you know, comes from Mexico. He's given many millions of dollars to the Clintons and their initiative. So Carlos Slim, largest owner of the paper from Mexico. Reporters at the New York Times, they're not journalists. They're corporate lobbyists for Carlos Slim and for Hillary Clinton. We're going to let foreign corporations and their CEOs decide the outcomes of the... You just can't do this. We can't let this happen. We are not going to let it happen where they decide the outcome of our elections. They can't do it, and we're not going to let it happen. This is our last chance to save our country and reclaim it for we, the people, and it's going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. As you have seen, right now I am being viciously attacked with lies and smears. It's a phony deal. I have no idea who these women are. Have no idea. I have no idea. And I think you all know I have no idea because you understand me for a lot of years, okay? When you looked at that horrible woman last night, you said, I don't think so. I don't think so. Whoever she is, wherever she comes from, the stories are total fiction. They're 100% made up. They never happened. They never would happen. I don't think they'd happen with very many people, but they certainly aren't going to happen with me. Folks, you know, my people always say, oh, don't talk about it. Talk about jobs. Talk about the economy. Don't worry, your jobs are going to be, they are going to be coming back to North Carolina like you've never seen. The economy's going to be good. But I feel I have to talk about them because you have to dispute when somebody says something. And fortunately, we have the microphone. We're able to dispute. Some people can't. These are lies being pushed by the media and the Clinton campaign to try and keep their grip on our country. They are all false. They're totally invented, fiction. All 100% totally and completely fabricated. Never met this person, these people. I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. Think of what's happening to our country. Think of what's happened. I don't know who these people are. I look on television. I think it's a disgusting thing, and it's being pushed. They have no witnesses. There's nobody around. They just come out. Some are doing it for probably a little fame. They get some free fame. It's a total setup. Now suddenly, after many, many years, phony accusers come out less than a month before one of the most important elections in the history of our country. It also comes at a time as WikiLeaks unveils horrible, horrible things about Hillary Clinton. But they'd rather talk about this. Somebody that you've never seen that said, oh, in 1992 he went like this. One came out recently where I was sitting alone in some club. I really don't sit alone that much. Honestly, folks, I don't think I sit alone. I go in with groups of people. I was sitting alone by myself, like this. And then I went, wow. To somebody. I just heard this one. It's like unbelievable. Even a simple investigation would have shown these allegations against me. In just about all cases, it's nonsense. It's false. And Eyewitnesses already debunked the People magazine story. Here's my question about the dishonest writer from People magazine. Why didn't she write what she said happened before she wrote the story? Why didn't she put it in the story? The story would have been one of the big stories. I was the big star of The Apprentice. Why didn't she do it 12 years ago? 12 years ago. She's writing a story. Now think of this. Think of this. She's right. She's a liar. She is a liar. She's writing a story. Check out her Facebook page. You'll understand. Hey. She's writing a story about a beautiful love story. Melania, Donald. And she said, I made inappropriate move. Now, just so you understand, that's a big story. If I did. She wrote the most beautiful story. Honestly, most beautiful story. 100% story. Like, beautiful. Why wouldn't she have put this into the story? Now, 2 nights ago, I get a call. Oh, People magazine. So I said, it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's about a story that was written 12 years ago. She was on last night, or one of the top people at People was on, and he said, no, we were just informed of it. Well, did you hear about it 12 years ago? Did you hear about it 5 years ago? No, we just heard about it recently. These people are sick. These people are sick. And the reason she didn't write it 12 years ago is very simple. It never happened. It never happened. It's a lie. It's a lie. And let me tell you, if it did happen, 100% she would have written it. It would have been the biggest story of the year. Okay? These are all horrible lies, all fabrications, and we can't let them change the most important election in our lifetimes. If 5% of the people think it's true, and maybe 10% think, we don't win. In other words, they make up lies. They have people come around, oh, Donald Trump did this or that. I never saw these people before. I don't know who they are. And then you watch these phony networks and dishonest networks who are 100%. Let me tell you something about Hillary Clinton. She's got nothing going. She's got nothing. The only thing she's got going is the media. She's got nothing going. She's got nothing. The other day at the debate, where, by the way, I absolutely destroyed her, okay? Every online poll, even Time Magazine is not exactly in love with me, but every online poll had a skill in it. She said, the other day I'm standing, I told you this, but I'm standing at my podium, and she walks in front of me, right? She walks in front of me, you know. And when she walked in front of me, believe me, I wasn't impressed. But she walks in front of me, and she takes a question. Then she walked back, and that was the end of that, no problem. Then she said the next day, I invaded her space. Give me a break. And I was waiting for that because she had that incident once before where they made up something. Some guy invaded her space. The poor guy lost the election because of it. But I was very conscious of this, so I purposely didn't do anything. So get this guy out of here. Get him out of here. Out. Get out of here. It's really total disrespect for the American flag. There he is. Look, good. Great. Folks, that's what's happening to our country. That's what's happening. That is total disrespect for our flag. That's what's happening to our country. We're going to turn it around, folks. We're going to turn it around. So just to finish up, you see what's happening? The process is rigged. This whole election is being rigged. These lies spread by the media without witnesses, without backup or anything else. Somebody makes an accusation that you did something and you weren't there, you never saw this person before. It's a lie, total lie, it's fabrication. Sometimes they do it for fame, maybe they get money, who knows? The Clinton campaign is pushing it. The New York Times did a story on somebody where it was totally false. They knew it was totally false. We gave them the information. They wrote a whole big page about somebody where they were sending me emails and letters and everything, and then you realize it was a one-way send, by the way. There was nothing sent back. And you realize it was a totally phony deal. They did a whole big story on it. They didn't mention all of the emails. They didn't mention everything coming my way. And others looked at it, and as bad as they were, as soon as they saw all this stuff that was sent, they immediately decided not to do this. The New York Times did a story on it. They read these stories, and people might not know how untrue they are. It's really a disgrace. I've been saying this for a long time. The whole thing we've been going through, and I hate to say it, but the whole thing we're going through, Bernie Sanders, it was a rigged deal. The whole thing is one big fix. It's one big fix. It's one big ugly lie. It's one big fix. The press can't write the kind of things they write, which are lies, lies, lies. The stories are fabrications and false. And the only thing I say is hopefully, our patriotic movement will overcome this terrible deception. Hopefully our great movement, and there's never been anything like this in the United States, and the only way they figure they can slow it down is to come up with people that are willing to say, oh, I was with Donald Trump in 1980. I was sitting with him on an airplane. And he went after me on the plane. Yeah, I'm going to go after. Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you. Man. You don't know. That would not be my first choice. Hopefully, our great movement, powered by everyday citizens, will overcome the sickness that is plaguing our politics and our media. And I'll tell you what, our media is indeed sick. and it's making our country sick, and we're going to stop it. We're going to stop it, folks. All right, let's get on now. Let's get on to another subject. But isn't it good that we talk about this, right? Who thinks I shouldn't talk? We'll talk jobs. Who thinks that I shouldn't talk about it? Does anybody think that? Okay. I agree. When somebody, a long time ago, when you get hit, you hit back. You got to do it. You don't just say, oh, I didn't get hit. Oh, I didn't get hit. When you get hit, we are destroying our country with these sick people back there, and they know it better than anybody in this arena. I ran because I knew what trouble our country was in. The country's in tremendous trouble. You know this. You know this in North Carolina because you see what's happening to your jobs. They're disappearing. I know it's not about me, it's about you, and that's why I'm doing this. I didn't need to do this, but it's about you. It's about bringing our country back, making our country great again. I'm taking these slings and arrows for you so we can have our borders, so we can get back our jobs, so we can be a safe nation again. You know, the number of murders in our country this year went up more than they have in 45 years. It's true. Look, Obama is an incompetent. He's an incompetent president. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's out campaigning all day long. He's talking about me like he knows me. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And why doesn't some woman maybe come up and say what they say falsely about me? They could say it about him. They could say it about anybody. They could say it about anybody. I'll tell you what, he better be careful because they could say it about anybody. Anybody at all. But Obama is an incompetent. As a president, he's about as bad as it gets. Look at what's happening, how Iran is taunting us. Look at what's going on. Look at the world. He gives Iran $400 million in cash, but it turns out to be $1.7 billion in cash. Gives them $150 billion. This guy doesn't know what he's doing, and it's an embarrassment. You look at the Middle East, it's a blow-up, it's a total disaster. We have an incompetent president. I hate to say it, but it's 100% true. And all he's doing, instead of working on your jobs and your companies leaving for Mexico and other places, he's campaigning for crooked Hillary. That's all he does. Either we win this election or we're going to lose our country, because 4 more years of Obama, you can't take it. WikiLeaks documents Hillary Clinton speaking in secret, really, and you saw this, to a secret Brazilian bank. Hillary Clinton said, "My dream is a hemispheric common market with open trade and open borders." There go the rest of your jobs, by the way. A common market with open trade and open borders. There go the rest of your jobs. There you go. Even though she doesn't say that, but that's what she said in a very, very secret meeting. The emails show that behind closed doors, speaking to these international bankers, Hillary Clinton's pledged to destroy the sovereignty of the United States. A Trump administration will secure and defend our borders better than you've ever seen. Crooked Hillary also wants a 500 and we will build a wall. Crooked Hillary also wants a 550% increase in Syrian refugees to pour into our country. And that's over Obama numbers. And those are thousands and thousands of people. This, even though she admitted in private, according to WikiLeaks, again, nobody's covering WikiLeaks, they're covering somebody that I never saw before, that she knows terrorists are trying to infiltrate the refugee program. So you have terrorists coming in, she knows they're coming in, and yet she wants to increase it. And our country will never be the same. So let me state this as clearly as I can. I am going to keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country. At the same time, we're going to take care of our military, and we're going to take care of our great, great, great veterans. They've been treated very badly. That includes Veterans' Choice, so veterans can either attend a public VA facility, or if they have to wait in line like they've been doing, sometimes for as much as 7 days and then still not get proper care, they'll go to a private medical center, or they'll go to a private or public or something. They will go outside. They'll go to a private doctor. They'll go to a private hospital. They'll go to a public hospital. We're going to get them care, and we're going to pay for that care. They're not going to wait in line for 7 days and die sometimes waiting in line for a simple procedure or prescription. It's not going to happen like that any longer for our veterans, okay? Not going to happen. And Hillary Clinton said, no, the VA is doing a good job, okay? North Carolina is home to more than 100,000 active duty military personnel and almost 800,000 veterans. The military supports over 500,000 jobs in the state. We are going to repeal the Obama-Clinton defense sequester, and we are going to rebuild the military of the United States, which is very sadly depleted. When it comes to keeping America safe, I believe in I think you believe in these words, I think. 3 very important words. Peace through strength, right? Peace through strength. Now, we don't want to use our strength, but you have to have our strength. And the world is laughing at us. They're laughing at the stupidity of our president. Remember, he drew the line in the sand. The line is in the sand. Remember Hillary, the last debate? I wasn't Secretary of State then. She doesn't even know. It turned out she lied. Remember, she said TPP was gold standard. She said she never said that. During the debate, she lied about that. She's a liar. But to be a strong country, we must also be a very rich country. At the center of our economic revival, we'll be fixing our really horrendous, one-way street, horrible trade deals. We're going to fix them, folks. You know, last year, we lost almost $800 billion in trade deficits. We had trade deficit with other nations of almost $800 billion. And I have some friends in the audience. I guarantee I can take any one of those friends, one in particular who happens to be brutal, but that's okay. Lives in North Carolina, so, you know, one of those things, right? But a great business person. I put him in charge, in this case, him. We would have such a good thing. And there are people like that. We have the greatest negotiators in the world. We have the greatest business people in the world. We don't use them. We use political hacks. So we have a trade deficit of almost $800 billion. Sad, isn't it? Isn't it pathetic? North Carolina's industry and workers have been crushed by Bill Clinton's signing of NAFTA, supported by crooked Hillary. Don't forget, a lot of people want that to happen because they make a lot of money by taking money out of this country. Those deals are very good for a lot of people. A lot of people know, everybody knows NAFTA is no good for the United States, but it's good for their wallets in some cases. You've lost nearly half of your manufacturing jobs since NAFTA. Did you know that? You've lost almost half of your manufacturing jobs. This region used to be the furniture manufacturing hub of the world. I know because I bought plenty. But the NAFTA deal and then China's entry into the World Trade Organization, another Bill and Hillary-backed disaster, have sent those jobs to other countries. You know better than anybody. I used to be here a lot for furniture. Gets smaller and smaller every year, doesn't it, huh? You're not going to have anything left pretty soon. We're living through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. Our jobs have been stolen from us, and we have people that don't know what they're doing, in particular our leadership. If I win, day one, we are going to announce our plans to renegotiate NAFTA. If we don't get the deal we want, we'll leave NAFTA and start over to get a much better, a much more fair deal. Because right now, we're a one-way highway into Mexico, a one-way hire. I mean, you take a look at this. It's one way. They get the jobs, they get the factories, they get the cash. You know what we get? We get illegal immigration and we get drugs. And the drugs are poisoning our youth. The drugs are poisoning our youth and others, but we're getting the drugs and we're getting lots of problems. And I'll tell you, I was endorsed by the, as you know, by ICE just last week and by the Border Patrol agents. 16,500 Border Patrol. They've never done this before. They've never endorsed a presidential candidate. Both groups endorsed me because we're going to have strong borders. And we're going to have people come into our country, but they're going to come in legally. And we're going to stand up to China. We're going to stop their currency manipulation and product dumping, which is killing us. And they don't follow the rules, and if they don't, we're going to institute tariffs when they send something into our country. And believe me, they're going to obey our rules so quickly, you have no idea. And we'll end up with a better relationship with China than we do now. Look what they're doing. They're building a massive fortress against everything, a massive fortress in the South China Sea, and yet they're ripping us off. Now, if they're going to rip us off, you wouldn't think they'd be building fortresses. They have no respect for a president, which I can understand that. They have no respect for Obama. They have no respect for our country. And they're getting away with murder. And we have the cards. We have the cards. We have all the cards. Because we're like the piggy bank that everybody keeps stealing from. But pretty soon we're not going to be the piggy bank anymore. We're going to be the opposite of the piggy bank. We owe $20 trillion. Half of which came during the Obama years. And yet we didn't fix anything. Our roads are bad, our bridges are bad, our tunnels are bad, our schools are bad, our hospitals are bad. We're going to start making things again in America. As part of our plan to bring back our jobs, we're going to lower our business tax from 35% to 15% tax, the biggest since Ronald Reagan. Wages will rise, jobs will return, and factories will come rushing back in to our country. We're also going to fix our inner cities. 45% of African American children are under the age 6 are living in poverty. Think of it, 45%. 58% of African American youth don't have jobs. More than 3,000 people have been shot in Chicago since the beginning of the year. 3,000 people since January. 3,000. It's like a war zone. Violent crime in Greensboro increased by 25% last year. Did you know that? 25%. To those African Americans suffering in our country, I say, what do you have to lose? Vote for Trump. I'm going to fix it. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? I will fight harder for you than anyone has fought for you before. Here are some of the more amazing things we're going to do when we take over, hopefully, this incredible country and run it properly in 2017. We're going to have the biggest tax cut since Ronald Reagan. We're going to eliminate job-killing regulations, which are a disaster. We are going to defend religious liberty. We're going to end Common Core. Got to bring our education local. We're going to support the men and women of law enforcement. Repeal and replace Obamacare. We are going to save our Second Amendment. We're going to appoint great justices to the United States Supreme Court who uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. So you have 25 days to make every dream you ever dreamed of for your country come true. But to beat the system, you have to pound the pavement, get your friends and coworkers out, organize your neighbors, and fight for the country you want. On November 8th, the arrogance of Washington, D.C. will come face to face with the righteous verdict of the American voter. It's time. All right? I am asking all Americans, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats, to join us in our campaign to defeat the corrupt establishment and give our government back to the people. It's going to happen. I'm going to fight for every citizen of every background. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to fight. And we're going to fight for every stretch of this nation. And I'm going to fight to bring us all together. We're a divided nation, very divided nation right now. We're going to be a unified nation, a nation of love. Imagine what our country could accomplish if we started working together as one people, under one God, saluting one American flag. You're going to look back at this rally for the rest of your life. And we're having a good time. We're having a good time. You're going to remember this day. This is a movement like nobody's ever seen in this country before. Even our enemies admit that. We're going to make history together. You're going to look back at the election on November 8th. And you're going to say it is the most important vote you've ever cast, because that's when our country started working again. That's when our country became safe again. That's when our country became strong again and rich again. And we will make America just like your beautiful hat. We will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Go out and vote November 8th.
Joe Seals back here in the RSBN studios. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Donald Trump rally here in Greensboro, North Carolina. We are going to go now to the Mike Pence rally in Pensacola, Florida. It is live on our YouTube channel, or you can find it at our website, rsbn.tv. Pence is now taking the stage and is speaking right now. And then tonight, we are going to be live from Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got another guy out there. Our cameras tonight. Hope you enjoy. Please donate, rsbn.tv/donate. And thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to end the feed now as Trump has left the stage.